creates a spectacle towards school children, you know, at the Independence Square, and other parades collapse during Independence Day. Even security personnel are not spared. The occurrence is attributed to dehydration and fatigue. So we are asking, do you think Independence Day parades are necessary?
In life, you should celebrate your life. And when they are celebrating the life of Ghana, why not? It's very, very necessary. Only that the politicians, again, have made us fed up. So people do not even want to hear about them. So even those things have become political. When my government is on, I go to independence. When my government is not on, I don't go back. So it's very, very necessary.
Yes, of course. Oh, because, you know, we are celebrating our Independence Day. And, you know, a lot of people will come read the history about Ghana. You understand? So to me, it's necessary. We started the parade not now, since Kwame Nkrumah. Jerry came, Kufuor, Atames, and the former president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Everybody did it. So if Kufuor is in and you want to do it, inshallah, we give you support.
Remembering the past is not something bad. By looking at how it has been packaged, the amount we spend on, and then the time wasted. You know, that time, production have to go on because of the holiday. Work is not going to come on, and then we have to stay home. We stay home sometimes doing nothing. We stay home as workers. They don't give us anything, but we spend the whole day in the house.
But they are still necessary in the sense that, considering the fact that it's a celebration meant to mark the independence celebration of the country, the parade is necessary in order to at least honor those dignitaries who will be coming, and then to make the celebration a little more splendid.
I'm sure you have memories of yourself, you know, doing the march.
I never marched. I never marched, and I really feel for the young, you know, children standing in the hot sun. You know, I mean, some of them collapsing. It's time we change the format.
Okay, so let's see what people are saying as well. Maybe some people agree with Yaraba.
Well, Abubakari Daslin says, all this struggle just to sleep and wake up to go borrow again. I suppose he's talking about Ghana Beyond Aid. And Pepper Isaac writes, I'm very happy because after 61 years, the pupils I teach still learn in a dilapidated building waiting for the next disaster to happen. I'm ashamed to be called a Ghanaian. If there is reincarnation, I would prefer to be born in Iraq, Syria, or Afghanistan than to be born in a headless country called whatever. Seriously, I think that we are in a better position than those countries that you've mentioned. And so, you know, there are responses to what he said. James Waddy says, are you kidding or not? Okay, let's move on. Joseph Bedu says, it was relevant some years back, not again. We need to move on and forget colonialism. As a country, we should think of innovative ways to develop our country instead of these expenses for these anniversaries. And Papa Bekawonchi says, it's 1000% unnecessary. Students have been fainting year in, year out. Maybe we are waiting for one to pass away before. The budget for celebration can be used to help the students who lie on their stomachs to write. We have problems to solve in this country. After all, we heard speeches upon speeches alongside copied ones, still nothing better. Then Isaac Survival Jabin says, it is asking whether birthday and wedding anniversary celebration is necessary. Just forget a lady's birthday and that is the end of the relationship.
And he's asking his friend to release some list. Okay, so Besseman says it's necessary, but it shouldn't be a mere show. There should be some kind of interior motive behind the parade, a time for deeper reflection on how far we've fared as a nation after independence. And Goja says there's a message behind the celebration than just the uniform marching by students and troops. That message is worth reminding ourselves every year. And Boatin Samuel says Independence Parade are important. Just look at the smiles everyone had on your faces. We mustn't forget our history. Like
smiles? I didn't see any smiles.
Anyway, so we all have a mom or dad who you can describe as a drama queen or king, because of his or her exaggeration on issues. They normally show this behavior in the presence of family members or perhaps your friends. So I ask, who is more dramatic, your mom or dad? Share some of your experiences with us.
My mom. Sometimes there are issues that we feel that, okay, this is not supposed to be a big deal, but then she'll make it look like like she takes it out of context. Okay, maybe like you have a visitor, she has a visitor, and she expects you to excuse them, and then if you don't, the way a manner she'll behave, like, wow, when you will.
My mom, definitely. She's always afraid if I go anywhere and always makes big problems about everything. When I want to go out with friends or just like that.
I think my dad.
What makes him dramatic?
I remember when I was growing up, whenever he comes home, he usually make us play with his tummy, like a punching bag. Be punching him and you'll be teasing him and so on and so forth.
My mom, but I strongly believe it's been my mom who's been more dramatic.
What makes her dramatic?
I think I've taken up the traits of my dad. Personally, I'm not so dramatic, but I have seen a bit of my sisters back at home, and I've realized that they dramatize more than I do.
Yeah.
When you're growing up, as a kid, you might have misused an appliance in the house. Let's say maybe you've watched too much television according to her. Now, your dad naturally will say, you're watching too much television, you should study more. Your mom might say that, might go and bring some old results you brought to the house that may not have gone on well, and she'll say it's because you've been watching this and that. I mean, that's out of proportion, I think.
What's it then?
I'm sure you have an experience to share, but definitely I think that our moms are more dramatic than our dads, you know. But you share your experience with me.
Do I have any experiences to share? My parents are both very laid back. They're not
Okay.
too dramatic, but I know definitely that you have a lot of experiences to share.
Oh, you don't want to hear them because when I started, we are not done yet. My mom had a song that she used to sing. Obra ni warabo, you know the way to drama. Obra. Anyway, let's hear what people are saying.
Okay, Bentil Ninsin Prince says, drama. Hey, Radi, my mom is a champion in my house. I call her a name, but she watches JoyNews when she sees it. I am dead. And then Seth Ejenim Boating says, my dad wasn't romantic, so he can't be dramatic. But on the other hand, my mom was a bombastic, so she was dramatic, period. Hey, what does that mean? Olali Mama Dogbe says, Mom, oh, dad was very gentle and talks once in a while, but asemsi dia.
But esimesi dia.
Esimesi dia.
Okay, so that's the mom. Okay.
Okay, Sana Mohammed writes, my dad, because he's interesting always and acts funny. And Papa Becca Wonchi says, our moms are the best actors. I agree with you, Papa Wonchi. Samuel Marisian Jr. writes, my siblings and I called our dad Papa Jasko. He was really funny but very strict. Rest well, Dad. And Al Hassan Hamba says, my mom. Demidia Simon says, my dad. But you guys should tell us exactly what makes them dramatic, you know. Sahada and Dizato Ture Mohammed says, mom. And Richansa says, none of the above.
Okay, so with the advent of social media, we can communicate whatever we are engaged in at any moment. There are no limits from eating, mourning, celebrations to some very personal moments like relationship issues. People share their status anytime. So we've all had one family member, we all have that one family member who we do not want to see these updates on social media. So who is that individual that you dread seeing your WhatsApp status and why?
Okay, my dad.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Why?
No, because maybe the thing that I'm posting, he's the type who is always on my WhatsApp trying to see what the boy is doing. So if I post anything, like maybe I put a girl's picture there, he will type and ask, Kweku, who is this? Oh, that's a friend. What kind of friend? So because I don't like such kind of questions to bombard me, I'll just put something which he sees, he'll be okay with it.
My girlfriend.
Why? Why her?
Because, you know, if it is bad and she see it, she might think I'm a bad person. So regularly I used to hide it from her.
My girlfriend.
Why?
So why? Maybe some pictures are so bad to extend that maybe when she sees it, she become annoyed and will ask me a lot of questions. So I love to hide this from her.
When I think about my girlfriend,
Why her?
sometimes you might take some things very offensive, of which sometimes you're not even referring to him or to her, sorry. And sometimes to certain posts you post are not even about her, but she takes it. You see, so that's why sometimes when you posting something to other ladies or about any other person, I consider her first.
So I hear that there's a way you can block some people from seeing these status.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yes. So you can go to a setting. There's a setting there.
I know there have been people who have been hiding and
just
watching.
go there and just excluding. So if I don't want you to see, excluding Araba, how I've saved your name, excluding Araba. So everybody else will see my status, but Araba, you won't see anything on my status. So those who are afraid of letting their parents, their girlfriends, and all that. Okay, that's the tip. But let's hear what people are saying.
All right. So Sam Young says nobody, because I don't have anything serious that I will hide from them. It's always open for everybody to see. Nice. Demidia Salmon says, family member, and you're hiding your status. Maybe the status is depraved of morality and decency. And Samson Asaba says, my mom, she would just beat me. But how old are you, Samson? Sechibia of Fosu writes, the whole of the extended family. My family members exaggerate too much. Atajebi Patrick writes, is my niece Rejoice also a free? She is so curious that she will want to know the reason behind the status. She will worry you until you tell her. I like her though. And Joe Lipton says, Chris Brown, he's so curious about me putting Bill Gates in. What does that mean? Okay. Davi Patient says, nobody, because I'm open to my family members. Okay. Sahada Ture Mohammed says, my dad. And Romeo Gara says, my dad. And then Sana Mohammed says, my wife to be.
So now you know the trick. But let's see our video of the day. It has to do with Ghana at 61 and definitely Ghana beyond 8.
What can't brofo me man to brofo ni. What can't brofo pan so brofo no baby na me jina am come yi.
Ghana beyond 8. Yeah, I know I say chess.
Oni.
Me pa say Ghana beyond 8 no kind. I say chess.
Me nti ase.
So Miss G, what did she say? What did she?
Okay, so
Hannah
was yes, exactly. It says means that Ghana is growing, and then Hannah asked her again. Says, "Oh, meaning I don't know." So let's stick to the fact that she doesn't know. But the fact that Ghana is growing, I'm not sure that's what she intended to say. But Ghana beyond aid, you know, clearly, Araba.
We all need aid. We all need free SHS. A lot more people need free SHS. Clearly, from what we saw.
There's a tape of some women from Kaneshi saying that, the brofunem, that's an example of one of those women. But thank you for having me for JoyNews Interactive.
And happy